Hey guys, it's Brandon.
And this is Sabrina, and welcome to the Someone Called BS podcast, where we discuss navigating marriage, entrepreneurship, and owning our own businesses while also trying to do this thing called life together. Thanks for joining us here and listening to our literal BS.
Oh, you're gonna need to edit that out.
Ugh, come on.
Trick two. Did their Trick 2 make it run a lot better, but for the cheaper?
Seriously, don't say it like that.
Let's get it.
Why do you look so serious?
Keep it serious.
Wow. Well, hello everyone.
What's up, everybody?
We are back for this is episode 14. So I don't know what that means, but thank you for listening. If you have continued to listen, or if you're just now giving us a try.
Yeah. Lucky number 14.
Yeah, we missed Lucky 13, but hopefully you guys enjoyed that episode, because this episode is much like the same, with no preparation in advance, because we have had a crazy week again. We did not record on Saturday or Friday like we wanted to.
We have a good reason.
Yeah. I don't know if it's everyone else too in life, but I feel like nothing goes as planned ever, and life is just chaotic and hectic all the time. Like, I don't understand what is happening, but we are surviving. So hopefully you are surviving as well.
Survive and adapt.
Yeah.
Or adapt and survive.
Yeah. So I hope everyone has had a great week so far, and they had a good weekend. It's been rainy the past few days, which I enjoy. I love this weather. Cold and rainy. If I could live in like Washington State, it would be perfect for me.
Yeah, it would be incredible for our, big giant pool that F-Bomb sponsored, to live in Washington State where it rains all the time and we can't use the pool.
Yeah, it'd be great.
No, wouldn't be great.
I'm sure not a lot of people in Washington State have pools for that reason, but
Missing out.
yeah. So anyway, where should we start? Because we've literally done no prep for this, like the past one. So I'm sorry, guys. I hope you guys liked our past episode. And
No, they didn't. They hated it.
Listen to us, because I promise we'll get better. But also, if y'all want to hear anything in particular, give us some feedback, like comments and stuff.
Yeah, or just tell us, like, we should hang it up. Like, if you hate it and you're like, oh, these guys should just hang it up, just let us know.
Yeah, honestly, if we really suck at this, like, let us know, because, I mean, we enjoy doing it for sure, but it is definitely work.
Well, it's debatable.
But it's the only time that you really get to talk to me.
Yeah, that's true.
During the week. Because by the time we get home, usually we are both burnt out of conversation, so we don't really talk to each other. I mean, we do, but not like in depth.
I told you. Well, you wanted to do this 75 medium firm thing. Like, once I'm locked in on that, that's it. I'm laser focused. It takes all of my willpower to not eat snacks at night and have glasses of milk. So
you've been doing really good. I'm very proud of you. And I feel like you look thinner than ever.
Well, that's debatable. I'm still a fat piece of lard, but
stop.
I am melting away the pounds.
Yeah, how many pounds have you lost?
8.
Oh my gosh. And what, this is only the third week?
I don't know.
So this is like, that's pretty good. That's like 3 pounds a week.
Yeah, it's not bad.
You want to know how many pounds I've lost?
How many?
2.
Well, you're already skinny, so it's hard to lose weight when you're skinny.
I am not skinny. I have plenty of weight to lose. I want to lose 20 more pounds, and it will not come off, no matter what I do.
I will say my neckline is looking thinner.
Is it?
Which I like, because I've got this fresh GLD diamond baguette chain. And it's kind of sick. Like, it looks good around a thinner neckline, I feel.
Do you have a GLD sponsorship now?
Nope.
We should get one.
Something. Discount code.
What are you wearing today as the with the sunglasses?
Prime.
The blend are those blenders?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Blenders. The Prime Black Edition.
Yeah. If y'all aren't watching on YouTube, Brandon has this like diamond necklace on.
It's
Oh.
fake. Mr. Holsek, for God's sakes, it's fake diamonds. Okay, Jesus Christ. It's real 14 karat white gold, but fake diamonds. I don't
Not sponsored by F-Bomb.
can't ball like that. But it's still cool though.
Yeah. It looks good. I like it. You
Yeah.
really got into the chain game.
Yeah, some people will call me the drip god.
Oh.
That's just what I've heard.
Yeah.
Or maybe they don't. I don't know. Maybe that's something I made up myself. But
Probably, but we'll
Eh.
go with it.
I'll take it.
Maybe all of our listeners will call you that now.
Yeah. Matter of fact, whenever it was freezing, it was because I had got these new chains in the
Oh.
mail, so I caused it to freeze. So
Okay.
yeah,
That's a good one, honey.
yeah, it's not bad.
Well, where should we begin?
Well, Sabrina finally had to book our Cabo trip, so I forced her hand into that. I don't know if we told you guys or not. We had went to dinner with our pals. It was a few weeks ago, and Sabrina made a very dumb bet with me. It's not very wise to bet with a man who is researching where he would like to retire. So she made a bet that you can't see whales at a certain time period.
I don't remember where I did this.
At Donnie's, after we went to dinner, Sabrina said you could only see whales in January and they stop in February. And I was like, nope, you can see whales in Cabo like all the way up to the beginning of April. And we bet. She was like, that's not even true. But I research these things because I'm like, I always have to think way into the future because I'm always, what do you call that word? Manifesting stuff into existence. So I'm trying to manifest Cabo to retire. Like,
I don't want to retire there.
Well, we'll just have to retire apart because
I want to retire in the mountains.
No, it's way too cold up there.
Oh, come on. We can't be manifesting different things.
I want to retire and drive my McLaren around in Cabo.
You can drive your McLaren in mountains. That would be
No.
better.
I can only drive it like a few months of the year up there, for God's sakes.
6 months in the mountains, 6 months in Cabo. So like summertime mountains, wintertime Cabo.
Well, I'm not transporting my sweet, sweet McLaren back and forth, so it will stay in Cabo. We'll drive a G-Wagon up there or something.
That's fine.
But anyway, she lost the bet to get back on track. So I told her if you lose this bet, we're booking it like now. Because she likes to like, no, maybe we should wait, maybe we should save and
I like to save.
Pay off things and not have debt. And Dave Ramsey, I've heard him say this. And
I don't follow Dave Ramsey. You're being dramatic.
So I told her if she lost the bet, we would have to book it now. So thankfully, we're booking it now and it's booked.
Yeah.
I found a sick ass hotel. The Grand Vela's just opened up a little boutique hotel that's adults only.
Grand Vela's Boutique Los Cabos.
Luxury adults only resort. And they were doing since they just opened, they were doing a pretty hefty price discount. To put into perspective, the actual Grand Velas, not the boutique, the Grand Velas is like family inclusive, which means children can be there. Which I'm sorry, but when I vacation, no. I don't want to go somewhere where there's children allowed.
Well, to Mexico.
Yeah, to Mexico in particular. Like certain places when you vacation, you just got to deal with it. But when I'm going on a luxury vacation, I want adults only. So we have never been to the Grand Velas before. That's one of the reasons. But I was like, oh, I wonder, what the price difference is. On Costco, bro, 10 G's.
Mhm.
And we booked the adults only for way less than that.
Like half.
Like half. And our friend Hobie is going with us.
Yeah, we're gonna be a throuple probably.
We convinced him.
Unless he finds someone to take. Which, I mean, I think he's planning to find someone, but if not, we'll be this weird throuple. But they'll know we're not like sleeping together because obviously we have separate rooms.
Yeah.
But
yeah, so that's cool. We're excited about that.
It'll be fun for sure.
Be like an early birthday gift.
So if anyone wants to come with us.
Yeah, if anybody wants to join in on that, we can just message us. We'll get you the details. I will be a bad influence and tell you just to swipe the card.
Yeah, you only live once,
Swipe it up.
It's exciting. So, yeah, if anyone's interested in coming with us.
We're going to see some whales because you can in March.
Well, I'm booking us a whale watching tour, and I better see whales on that tour or else. Well, I want to see the whales migrating. Our friend Joanne just got to go, and it's January right now, so it's like prime time for whale migration, and she saw so many whales. So I want to see at least like half of the amount that she saw, because I know March is kind of late, but apparently you can see them.
You can still see them in March.
So I'm excited for that. I have to book all this stuff.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. Mm-hmm. At the beginning of the year, that's usually what we try to do, is we try to book all of our things, like car shows, hotels for the car shows. We try to take care of like our stuff that we sponsor, like Little League, Grizzlies, stuff around the community, Lavernia Education Foundation stuff. We try and take care of that like at the beginning of the year. I don't know. Me as a business owner, I feel like that's easier just to get it out of the way at the beginning of the year. So like you already kind of have everything. You already kind of know everything you're sponsoring at the beginning of the year, and you try and pay for as much of it as you possibly can. That way, like the rest of the year, you can save and invest, and then like you're not, at the end of the year, you can focus on bonuses and, doing something cool with your team.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. So for me, January, I like to do that to figure out like, all right. And then if we're personally going to travel throughout the year, I like to we're real big into planning like stuff. So whenever we do have things, we try and plan it way in advance so we're not last minute. Yeah. The only thing we're not good at planning in advance, as it turns out, is podcasting.
It's true.
I really think we need to have dinner or something with AJ and his wife. Maybe they can give us some tips because they're way better at it than we are.
Yeah, I don't know how y'all stay so organized. Like, we'll plan every week. I'm like, we've got to record Friday or Saturday. Like, Saturday night is the deadline, and then Saturday night comes and it never happens.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. This past weekend was crazy. Yeah, our dog Monty had 10 seizures in one night, so that was fun. That was Saturday night, actually. Well, Brandon he came home from work at 6:30, which is pretty early for him. So I was really excited because I thought we were going to have a peaceful night.
Romantic night.
Well, and that morning I got up pretty early and I had ran. I'm starting to do sprints on the treadmill on Saturdays, and I was going to do the same thing Sundays. So Saturday, Sundays, I was going to do sprints on the treadmill because I did realize, and I'm probably going to use incorrect terminology. I do not have my phone with me in order to Google this, but did you know that sprinting is one of the only cardiovascular activities that also, and I'm not talking about, I'm using the wrong terminology. It's my ADHD brain. I can't even think right now about what I want to say, except sprinting, I learned, is the only cardio-based physical activity that also builds muscle at the same time. They use a certain word, anabolic, catabolic, I don't know. But it's one of the only like very high rate cardio activities that builds muscle at the same time as you're like working on your heart health. Something like that.
I could
So,
see that.
and I'm trying to build muscle. I don't really like to do like a whole lot of just straight up cardio anymore, but I even got the wild idea, but I'm not going to really like commit myself to anything because obviously I can't commit. But I think I want to try to
Well,
run.
hopefully you can commit because we're married, pal.
Well, I mean, not with that, but like just everyday things that I try to commit to and then I don't. I end up failing. Like
the 75 hard.
Yeah.
Where now you're doing the 75
soft.
Yeah, you're on the. I'm still on the medium firm. You are definitely on the soft.
I'm on the soft. But anyway, back to my story. Which
Okay.
I don't remember what I was saying.
Oh God.
What was I saying?
You were talking about
the
you don't
sprinting.
want to commit, so
Yes, the sprinting. So I think I want to try to run a 10K by the end of the year. I used to run. Don't make that face. I used to run 5Ks.
I'm saying just show up and do it. I did.
No, that's not how I work. I'm not naturally athletic. I actually have
Me
to
either. You remember I almost died?
Well, no, but you can run. Like, I don't know what it is about men, but I feel like a lot of men, unless they're like morbidly obese, obviously, but men in general can run and you are not morbidly obese.
Almost.
Like, you could still, I've been working out for a long time now, for like 2-3 years, like pretty consistently. I feel like I'm not in terrible shape, but I'm also not in great shape just because I'm probably not as consistent with like, I need to be able to commit to like the same workouts. You know, I feel like I do too many different workouts. And so then.
Oh, yeah, for sure. You do like fucking froggy squats and donkey kicks and
Yeah.
all kinds of just.
We need to plan the same workouts every week. Like the same weightlifting, the same, like that way,
She has me do some shit I've never done before in my life.
No, that's not true.
She does. Some of the stuff she has me do, I've never heard of it. Like, it's probably because I'm just old and I'm old school. She's like, what did you used to do? I'm like, we used to do bench press, incline press, hit the fucking squat rack, and you call it a day. Bicep curls. But she's got these fancy fucking workouts where you gotta like hold one leg up, you gotta hold the Stanley in one hand, and then you do bicep curls like this and this. It's
People
like
listening
this whole
and not
thing.
watching cannot see what you're doing.
It's like this whole thing.
Anyway, he got mad because I wanted him to do hip thrusts with the barbell hip thrusts. Which
the weirdest thing I've ever
which builds your butt if you want to have a little bubble
I don't need to build mine.
Anyway,
I have a donk.
You actually do have a good butt.
Yeah.
But what I was saying is I need to be more consistent with like exactly like the same plan. Like if we're going to do leg day, same exercises on leg day every week, the same, back and bicep workout, the same shoulder, abs, blah, blah, blah. Like I have to do the same things, I think is my problem. But what I was saying is I'm like decently in shape. I wouldn't say I'm like stellar at anything, but you would still be able to beat me at running at this point. Like if we ran a mile outside, you would still win.
Yes, I would.
But
it has nothing to do with like who's in better shape. You're obviously in better shape than me. I am just a stubborn person, stubborn, driven, whatever you want to call it. But I just don't like to lose. So
I love being comfortable. That's my problem. Like I would rather, like if I'm uncomfortable, I have to be in the right mindset. This is where like I need to work on myself. Like I have to be in the right mindset to keep going. Yeah. And if not, then I will stop doing what I'm doing if I'm not comfortable and I'm not in the right mindset to like continue.
Yeah.
So that's something I have to work on. But yeah, I ran a mile the other day and I did it in like 10 minutes, 30-ish seconds. Which
that's pretty good actually.
Well, yeah, but But the other day when I was doing sprints, I realized how much I missed running.
Yeah, shit. I actually placed first in one of the 5Ks in my age group.
Yeah.
That hard ass one we did
In the
in
hill country.
Bernie, where it was like climbing a freaking mountain.
I think I placed second in that one. That one was really hard. It was like in the hill country at, I forget the park.
Yeah, that one sucked.
I-10, but it was really hard. But anyway, yeah, I think I might want to do that. But I also don't want to
We were doing a bunch of 5Ks.
Yeah, we were doing a bunch of them.
And then at the end of the year, they had the idea that they wanted to do the rock and roll, the big 10K that they do downtown.
They do like the rock and roll marathon, but then you have like people can choose like half marathon, 10K, 5K. So we all signed up for the 10K, but then at the last minute, the only one that did the 10K was Brandon. We all like on the route, you could have either gone like to the left or the right. The left was like 10K, right was 5K. We all went, okay, we're doing the 5K.
Yeah, I got a text. They were like, hey, we're not going to make it. I'm like, well, fuck, I'm on mile 4 already. Like, I can't stop.
Yeah, and so when he ran through the finish line, he was like ghost white.
Yeah, because I didn't train at all.
No.
I mean, I was doing 5Ks and stuff, but like, I could do a 5K today. Like, it's fine.
Yeah, I think you ran it in like an hour and a few minutes. Like it was a good pace.
It was all right. But yeah, I mean, I just showed up and was like, all right, so we're going to do the 10K. And then they were like hyping each other up. They're like, yeah, let's get it, bitch.
Yeah, and
then they all bailed out.
And we went with the 5K.
Even the other husband that was doing it bailed out.
Yeah, he ended up doing the 5K.
Punked out. There was little children doing that, going to the 10K. I was like, I ain't getting punked out by these kids. So whenever I'm running one of those things, I just like set my sights on the person who's in front of me and I just pick them off one by one. I'm like, all right, there's blue shirt over there. Not losing to Gretchen in the blue shirt. Boom. She's out of here. Okay, there's Molly, pink shirt. Boom. She's down.
Yeah.
I just start picking them off, and that's what keeps me motivated to just keep going.
You do have a lot of brain power. So
I am very good at processing multiple things in the heat of the moment when I'm doing things.
Well, I mean, just like by just not ever giving up.
Willpower. Will and grit and determination. Oh, yeah. Like, if she ever beats me in some sort of a race, it will literally, like, I will never lay down and do the gentleman thing where it's like, you have to let her win. If she ever beats me, it's because she's gonna whoop my ass. She ain't getting it easy.
I should try to beat you at running. Maybe that'll be my goal for the year.
Yeah. Not a bad goal.
I am 3 years younger than you, so time is on my side.
Like my mom used to say, you may outgrow me, but you will never outgrow my hand.
Anyway.
What else you got?
Well, I smashed my foot in the garage door yesterday.
Idiot.
Shut up.
What an idiot.
Who else?
She called me sobbing yesterday.
I was not sobbing. I did not shed one tear. I almost did, but I did not. So I did not sob. I was not sobbing. I was in a panic.
Her voice was trembling.
It was because, so a lot of the time, like I said, I cannot control my mind as well as you. And like, I will freak out about things because like it did hurt when it happened. But what I was more scared about is like, if I could walk on it and if I broke something, like just logically in my head, I was scared about that. So then I started to panic because I'm like, not even paying attention really to the pain of it. I'm just like, oh my God, did I break it? Like I wanted to logically know like how many pounds of pressure was the garage door on my foot? That's what I wanted to know. Like I'm one of those people that say like my arm gets ripped off, or like it gets bit off by a shark or something crazy. If I don't see that it's bit off, I'm not going to really panic. But if I look down and my arm is bit off, it doesn't matter. Like if the pain level was the same as if I didn't realize my arm was bit off, I would not panic as much as if I looked down and saw it and then let my mind like freak the fuck out about it. Does that make sense? It's like my mind makes me panic.
Oh, if that's the case, I've seen your mind send you into a panic over a sticker burr, pal.
Shut up.
Like you've had a mental breakdown about a purple sticker burr that was deep. It's so deep in my foot.
It what? But like the visual of it being deep in my foot was what was freaking me out. I promise you. I don't know if this makes sense to anyone else, but it's like if you don't know that you're bleeding, you're not going to freak out as much. But then if you look and you're bleeding, then it's like, oh my God. And then you let your mind like start getting crazy. You understand what I'm saying?
Nope.
I'm sure one of you understands what I'm saying. Like you just can't control what your mind.
It's gonna be an ADHD thing.
I don't know.
Something.
But anyway, so I was on my way to go work out and I realized I was going to go early to like run on the treadmill because I'm trying to get better at running. But I wanted to do it there because then I was going to work out right after. So I was like, well, I might as well go run there and then I'll be sweaty and I'll just work out. So I'm getting in my car. I close the garage door on my app and I realize I forgot my earbuds inside for when I start running. So I'm like, oh crap. And as always, I'm in a hurry. So rather than waiting for the garage door to close all the way and then me waiting for the app to load back up and then hitting open, it would have been like an extra minute probably on my journey. But I decided I'm just going to go. It has a sensor. So I'm just going to go to the garage door.
A motion sensor.
Well, so I
Motion.
went to the garage door thinking it has a sensor. So if I put my foot under it, it's not going to close on my foot. So I'm watching it the entire time it's going down. I'm like, it's gonna bounce back up. I've seen this happen before. Like it has happened when there's a box in the way. Like it bounces back up.
When it's in front of the sensor.
So it's coming down and I'm playing chicken with the garage door, but I do not give up. Like I do not get scared that it's gonna shut on my foot. I am confident that it is going to pop back up as soon as it hits my foot. No. As soon as it hits my foot, by the time I realize that it's putting this immense amount of pressure down on my foot, I can no longer move my foot. So I'm literally stuck. It wasn't like I just put the little edge of my toes. I put like half my foot over.
Oh, she had her whole fucking... She's lucky it only caught her foot. I watched the video after she called me because I'm like, I gotta see this shit. Like, how? She had her whole calf in there at one point. Like,
well, so it was the half of my foot, like up to like halfway between my toes and my like ankle. But yeah, it just crushed my foot down. And then, so the app, I'm like panicking. And so I'm trying to open it, but the app is still low. It's still saying that the garage door is closing. So it won't let me click the open button. So then I panic and I like sit down on the ground, but I try to pull the garage door up to like wiggle my foot out. Can't get the garage door to even move at all. It's just down on my foot. So then it was probably an overall like 45 seconds that it was crushing my foot, but it felt like forever. And finally I have to restart the app. I have to log back in, do the Face ID. It feels like it's taking forever. I have to press open and then pray to God that it works because sometimes the app doesn't work. And God forbid if the app had malfunctioned and it wouldn't open, because the other day I could not get the garage door to open from the app. I would have been stuck like that till you got home to open the garage door. Because I'm not going to make a scene. Like I won't scream for someone to help me outside. I would have just sat there and like yelled at you on the phone to get home to help me.
she still did call me and she was freaking out.
But anyway, so then it opens and I get my foot out and like I thought my foot would be relieved of pain when the garage door opened, but it was not. It like intensified the pain somehow. Like the pressure went away, but then like all of a sudden this just crippling pain went to my foot and I couldn't move my toes for a minute. So I thought I broke my foot. So then I was freaking out. So then I called you to ask you, should I go to the ER, and how many pounds of pressure was the garage door? Because I needed to know. So I was on the verge of tears, but I ended up recovering. And while I was talking to you on the phone, I was able to wiggle my toes. And so then I proceeded to go to my workout class.
Yeah, I was like, "Can you move your toes?" And she was like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Well, then it's not broken." She was like, "What, should I go to the ER?" I'm like, "Well, you can, but they're just gonna tell you like, oh, well, that was dumb. Take some ibuprofen and that's it."
Yeah. So
So
since he said that, I just went to my workout class and I ran on the treadmill.
she did. I told her you should probably not do that, but she did.
And it still hurts today. Actually, not as bad as it did yesterday, so that's a good thing. But and this happened yesterday, but I don't know if there's like I'm sure there's a tendon or something that connects from like your foot up to like your knee.
Yeah, metatarsal.
Well, my knee has been hurting today
Oh.
from, I think, whatever's happening down there. I think whatever I damaged, which I'm sure will heal fine, but my knee does hurt today on that
Just
side.
put some biofreeze on it.
Yeah. So anyway, that's my foot story.
That's her foot story. So, word to the wise, that's our advice today. Do not stick your foot under the garage door because it's not like a lift gate on a 2024 Mercedes AMG GLS. Okay?
Well,
Because you don't just put your little pinky there and it's like, ooh, something's there, and then it starts coming back up. So garage doors don't have that technology.
All of my friends that I told agreed with me that they would have thought it would have lifted up.
No.
Like it wouldn't have crushed down on my foot.
Nope. It's totally ratcheting down, like to seal, because like you want the garage door to seal down so no like critters, no snakes or anything like.
Well, yeah, you want your trunk to seal down too, but I can wave my foot under it and it stops.
Yeah, well, a little bit of a difference between $120,000 vehicle and.
Well,
also, for God's sakes, Mr. Holsick, she pays for that one.
stop.
The Mercedes, she pays for that one.
If you didn't listen to that episode, you have to go back. But
I did have to pay some money for her trade, but that came out of my personal account, Pally.
yeah, so anyway, that happened. And
yeah, that happened. Monty had 10 seizures. Poor guy. He's just a mess, man. That was pretty scary. That was the first time she had actually seen him have a seizure.
Mm-hmm.
And then she freaked the fuck out.
Oh,
She's lost some Valium somewhere in this home.
Y'all probably think I'm an idiot. Like, first I'm drinking hot beverages out of a copper mug. Like, I understand logically that's an idiot thing to do on this podcast. I didn't realize it until after.
Well,
I didn't realize the garage door would close on my foot. Well, in the midst of our dog having a seizure, I ran to the kitchen where we keep his medications and I got him. So if you know about seizures, you know that there's rescue medicine to like stop a seizure from happening or from continuing to happen. And it's Valium. So our doctor prescribes him liquid Valium that we put up his butt.
Right in his pooper.
And it's supposed to stop seizures like in their tracks or keep them from happening over and over again. And so after the first seizure, recently, every time he has one seizure, he has multiple. So after the first seizure, I came, grabbed the liquid Valium, took it back to the room where Monty was having the seizure. I laid with him on the ground. I was holding the liquid Valium in my hand, laying with him, and Brandon was like, "Don't lose that Valium because we're going to have to give it to him if he has another one. We don't want to waste the Valium on like just one seizure if it's less than like a minute long. We just kind of let it happen and then assess, but we kind of knew he was going to have more, so we were going to wait for the second one before we gave him the Valium." Well, somewhere in the midst between the first seizure and the second seizure, I lose that liquid Valium. I don't know where it went. I don't know how I lost it, because we even looked at the cameras and like what I did after, what I did in between, like none of it made sense to us. Anyway, somewhere in between that time, I lost it, and it was our only one at the house that we had left. And so we're both frantically looking for this Valium that I just had in my hand. It was a syringe, so it's like, pretty long. It's like 6 inches long. And I'm like frantically looking for it because we know if he has another one, like we need to give it to him. So frantically looking, he has another one, still looking. I'm like panicking, freaking out, looking around the house, up and down, everywhere I went. I'm looking on the floor, I'm looking under the bed, I'm looking under the cabinets, I'm looking everywhere that
She's accusing Arya.
Arya had to have eaten it. Long story short, we never found this syringe.
I ended up having to go to work to get the emergency syringe that we keep at the shop, because we keep one there.
Yeah, so then he has a second one. Then he has a third one. And I'm still looking for this Valium. I start crying because I feel terrible that I've lost it somehow. This is all within like 30 minutes. I don't know what happened to it. I'm looking everywhere everywhere you can think of. I'm looking counters, floors, underneath furniture, cabinet, everywhere that I've been, even places that I know I didn't go in the house. I'm looking. So by this point, he's having his third. So I tell Brandon, like, you just have to go to F-bomb to get his other one. So Brandon goes. I'm still looking. I'm continuing to look for the Valium. He has a fourth one while Brandon's gone. Still looking for the Valium. I cannot find it anywhere. So still looking. By the time Brandon comes home, he's had 4. We give him the Valium up his butt. And I think that kind of delayed the rest of the seizures. He didn't have one for maybe like an hour and a half after that.
It was like almost 2 hours.
Yeah, but
that got us to midnight.
Yeah. So then between midnight and 6 a.m., he had however many more. He had 10 total. And we still cannot find that missing syringe.
We ended up going to the ER. He would not have one there at the ER.
Yeah, we
drug the vet out of bed at freaking 4 a.m. to meet us there.
Well, we had called them before I talked to the vet at like 12 a.m. and he told me what to do to give him some extra medication, like not the Valium, but regular medication. So we did that first. And then, throughout the night, I was kind of checking in with the vet. And then finally, we were able to meet him at like 5 a.m. But yeah, of course, when we got to the vet, he didn't have any seizures at the vet. But they sent us home with like another medication and then extra rescue medication and all this stuff. And so then we get home and he has another one. That was his 10th one at home after the vet at like 6 a.m. But then after that, he didn't have any more. So that was a fun time.
Yeah. So we finally went to sleep. She's been wanting to go to this Mexican food restaurant that she loves for breakfast. So she's like, "Can you take me on Sunday? Please take me." I'm like, "Yeah, we'll go. Jesus Christ." So then we have this like terrible night. She's like, "Well, we're already at the vet. We might as well just sleep here in our car until Matas opens and get me some breakfast." So we go home, and sure enough, by the time we go to sleep, it's like 6:30. And then we end up freaking sleeping till 10, and I wake up, I'm like, shit.
Yeah.
It's 10 o'clock, and they're already done serving breakfast, so. Yeah.
Maybe next weekend. So, yeah, I didn't get my Mexican breakfast, and
I went and got you breakfast tacos.
Yeah. And then I lost Monty's emergency medication somehow in like 30 minutes.
And she believes that Arya has eaten this Valium.
There is no way that she did not swallow that syringe. Because while Monty was having his first seizure,
She just was like, yeah,
Well,
syringe full of Valium.
okay, but y'all don't know.
Smells pretty good.
Y'all don't know Arya. She eats things. Like, that's what she does. She'll chew things. She eats things. Like, she does these things. I've seen bigger stuff come out of her butthole than a syringe of Valium. Like, I've seen huge things that you would not even understand.
I put her outside quite quickly after the seizure happened.
Well, while he was having his first seizure, she was very interested. And so I think I perhaps dropped the syringe on the floor when he was having his first one, like after he came to, and I was like helping him up and he had peed on himself. So I was like cleaning him. I think I dropped it on the floor. Arya ate it. And then Arya went outside. That's what I suspect.
I think whenever Joanne comes back from her vacation in Cabo, she's going to be churching up our house and she's going to find it.
There's just no way. We've looked everywhere. There's no way.
Joanne finds some crazy stuff that we think we've lost. So
I will be very interested to see if she finds this.
I think it's going to happen. I do.
I want to know exactly where. I want to know exactly how it's placed.
Okay.
Either Arya ate it or some bizarre weird shit is happening in this home. That's all I have to say.
Okay.
I couldn't have gone that far.
You were in the middle of quite the panic, I will say.
Well, I don't know. But yeah, that I felt really terrible about that because it's awful to watch him have seizures.
Yeah. Poor dude. And he's like brain damaged from it.
No, he's not.
He is. This week, he literally walked right into this water puddle at work. Like, he just didn't compute, like, oh, that's a big water puddle. You know, Milton is like very careful, like, oh, I'm not. No, thank you. I'm going to take the long way round. And Monty's just like treading along and just starts splishing and splashing and then just like picks up his paw and is like, what have I done? Like, he didn't understand.
Well, that could be his eye.
He's like dragging his back legs real bad now.
Well, he's done that before. He did that ever since his first few seizures. He kind of drags his feet when he walks. But
so
I think we're gonna have to get him the MRI.
Yeah, I don't know. Poor guy.
We were trying to avoid the MRI because, believe it or not, an MRI for a dog is like $4,000. So, as much money as we always spend on our dogs, I was also trying to be like cognizant. And the vet was like, well, if we can manage it with the medication, then most likely it's just idiopathic and there's not really anything else wrong. And even if he has a tumor, there's nothing that you can do unless you would want to put him through brain surgery. But she was like, I don't really advise that because, first of all, it's very traumatic for dogs to go through that kind of surgery. And then a lot of the times when they come out of surgery, they are a different dog. They are not the same. And so she was like, if you think you would do that, then yeah, that's one, like, for sure get the MRI. But if you find out he has a tumor and it wouldn't make a difference on what you do unless it's, obviously affecting his quality of life, then, kind of why spend the money on it except to know for sure. So we were kind of contemplating it and I decided not to do it at the time, but now I kind of feel like we have to investigate what's going on because having 10 is really scary. Because he came out of them, and I don't know, I didn't know this before, but apparently what kills dogs during the seizure is not like the seizure itself, it's the fact that their body overheats. Because when they're having the seizure, it's the equivalent of like running a marathon for them. Like they're exerting so much energy that they're heating up their body, and then they have no way to cool down. So if the seizure lasts for a long time, or if he's having like back-to-back seizures, he can die from just overheating. Like he came out of some of the seizures, and he was like panting because he was hot.
Well, Frenchies already can't breathe that
Yeah.
great.
And so that was scary for sure. I would hate for him to suffer like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we have to figure that out. It's
true.
It's really sad because he's only a year old, so I hope we can just manage it with medicine and get some years with him, but we'll see what happens. I did make an appointment for a holistic vet to look at him. She does like acupuncture and herbal, like Chinese medicines.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
It's nothing like getting the Chinese triad involved.
Hey,
when
the Chinese medicines extended Maximus's life.
That's true. We've had a run of issues with animals. We had to put down our 3-legged goat Pumpkin this past weekend.
We did have to put down Pumpkin. When
So,
was that? Saturday.
Maximus, we lost Maximus, and then the 3-legged goat Pumpkin, she had like a cancerous
Saturday? No.
before the freeze.
Oh, I don't remember if we talked about that on the podcast last time, but yeah.
No.
R.I.P. Pumpkin. We had to put her down too.
Yeah.
We adopted her from a friend after we got our baby goats, and she was already pretty old, but yeah, she had a mass in her stomach and she wasn't able to move. And so before the freeze, we ended up putting her down because I didn't want her to suffer through the cold.
Yeah, because she couldn't move. So I was like, she's going to like freeze to death outside.
Yeah, poor Pumpkin.
She wasn't eating and everything. And we had scheduled the vet to come out earlier in the week, and they gave her a bunch of steroids and medicine. They were like, yeah, this mass is not good. Like, it's not normal. If these steroids by the weekend don't perk her up and get her moving around, like,
yeah,
it's probably not too good. So, yeah, we recently had to put her down.
Yeah. Poor goatas.
So.
And then Pippin, my young goat. Well, we have 2 goats left. They're twins. One's a girl, one's a boy. And they're the cutest, sweetest little things. I love them to death, but I think
they're terrible.
They're not
literally terrible goats.
I love them.
They're not sweet at all.
They are sweet. Are you kidding me?
Did you see?
You taught him that.
He was trying to kill me.
No, he was playing. His tail was wagging. Winston was playing with Brandon, our goat. He was like trying to what do you call that when they do that with their horns? Rut? Or is that made?
No, I don't think he was rutting.
Oh.
He was trying to headbutt me.
Yeah, but he was playing. You know how goats headbutt each other like when they're playing? That's what he was doing with you because you taught him how to do it.
I didn't. I told him, don't fucking raise up at me. I'll whoop your ass.
The male goat is a little temperamental, even though we did castrate him early. But I castrated him at like 6 months. But he's still he's a little bit of an asshole. But he's very sweet when there's not like food involved. If there's food involved, he gets crazy. But anyway, y'all probably don't care about goats. But yeah.
Me either. I told her worst idea she's ever had.
I love them.
I would have preferred a mini cow.
Well, we can always get one of those.
No, we can't. No more animals. I'm animaled out.
I am animaled out too for the first time in my life. I feel like I am over having a lot of animals.
We got too much shit to do.
It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work. So when you're trying to take care of animals and podcasts and run my business, and you've got your work and your business and fucking 75 hard and trying to buy a McLaren, like,
there's a lot to do.
A little bit of a chore.
Well, speaking of, we have a lot more to do tonight.
That's right. I still got to hit the sauna, maybe turn some Italian mob boss music on.
Yeah.
Or some classical.
Transform into Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Well, I still have to make dinner, and
Yeah,
laundry.
I see we've got some pasta sauce out.
Yeah, I'm making some pasta.
So looks
so-
like Italian mob boss it is.
Okay, well, you go get in the sauna. And
Hey,
I,
mama, mambo Italiano.
and I will make dinner.
You know that song?
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
All
Well,
right.
we're out of here, guys.
Let
Thanks for
us-
tuning in again. Please give us something to talk about. Let us know something you want us to talk about.
Unless you really want to hear us babble about goats and
goat seizures,
I don't even know.
iced
what else.
out, drip god.
Yeah, the drip god will speak again next week.
It's true.
Bye.
Thanks for tuning in with us. Please like, comment, and subscribe with us on YouTube and listen to us on Spotify and wherever else you stream podcasts. Email us for topics and conversations that you'd like to hear next at info@someonecallbs.com.